I'm going to talk about the Traxxas ID nickel metal hydride pack. So typically when you buy a ready to run Traxxas model and it does come with the batteries, it's going to come with the nickel metal hydride pack. And the reason is because nickel metal hydride is safer. These are a lot less likely to start on fire than a lithium polymer pack. As you can see, this right here is a 7-cell pack, so each one of these is connected together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a 7th one on the end. And this right here is a 4200 milliamp. Think of this like a gas tank. So think of this as like, that's how much gas it holds, is 4200 milliamp. Now this, for example, is a smaller one. This is also 7 cells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, but this is only a 3000 milliamp pack. So even though these packs are identical in size, this one holds 1200 less milliamps than this one. These Powercell ones, they are ID, which basically means it has these ID connectors. So as soon as I plug this into a Traxxas ID charger, it should identify it's a nickel metal hydride pack. Then that start-stop button should illuminate blue and be ready to go. Now, talking about these Powercell ID ones, this is typically like what I said is going to come with any ready-to-run Traxxas model that comes with a battery, because this is just safer, it's much more simple. This won't come with this type of charger. This will probably just come with like a little cheap wall charger. But basically, you just plug it in like such. And as you can see, it identifies it's a nickel metal hydride pack, 4 amps. This is a 4.2 milliamp, or 4200 milliamp, I should say. And then you can see that it illuminates blue, and I can just press and hold, and that's going. And here's the advantages. The advantages of a nickel metal hydride pack is that they don't really take as long to charge as a Lipo pack. A Lipo pack is going to take longer to charge than a nickel metal hydride. The thing I noticed is nickel metal hydride packs, oddly enough, get very, very hot. Like, they get really, really toasty when they're charging. So a nickel metal hydride pack probably only takes like roughly from empty, maybe 45 minutes or less to charge. Differs a little bit, but if you have a charger like this, if you have a wall charger, the stuff that would come with a Traxxas ready-to-run model, that's probably like a little trickle charger. That probably takes way longer. But I'm saying if you have a Traxxas ID charger like this, it probably only takes 45 minutes or less to go and get fully charged. And here I will plug this one into the other port. This, of course, is a 3000 milliamp. Now, I do have to say I've had no issues with the Traxxas Powercell nickel metal hydride packs. I would recommend them. This is great for beginners. Now, the disadvantage of nickel metal hydride compared to Lipo is that nickel metal hydride packs, they drain kind of gradually. So what happens is you lose power as they drain. So what I mean is, let's say this starts at 100%. As soon as you start running this, as the voltage goes down, this gradually gets less power. So you feel it get less and less powerful as the battery dies. What happens with a Lipo pack, it's able to sustain that same amount of power from the very beginning of plugging in all the way till it hits low voltage mode and turns off. So a nickel metal hydride pack, unfortunately, does not do that. Like, as you keep on going, once it's like halfway through the pack, you're going to have significant less power than when it was at a full pack. When with a Lipo pack, when you're at the same amount of voltage in it, you still have full power up until you hit that low voltage threshold. So these work fine, but they don't tend to last as long as a Lipo either. So they don't tend to last quite as long as a Lipo. They don't have that same amount of power output throughout the entire run. They gradually lose power, but I have had no issues with them. So like I said, they charge, they're reliable. I've had no issues with them. You can plug them into basically any Traxxas model with an ID ESC connector, and really there's no issue with them. And I like using them on some of my vehicles. Some of my vehicles, like my Summit now, because those 2-cell packs have puffed up so bad, typically what I'm using is these Powercell nickel metal hydride packs in my Summit. But like I said, the disadvantage is you feel it lose power gradually as you're running the RC. But the advantage of these is they're simple and they charge pretty quickly. So if you guys enjoyed this video and you feel like you learned something, go ahead, smash that like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this in the future. See you later, guys.